Last month, this was the quiet, serene, old farming town of Le Mans, 200 kilometers south of Paris in western France. It's a quaint old town, picturesque, peaceful. Some of these winding streets and crooked buildings date back to the 12th century. For 11 months of the year, Le Mans seems to drowse in the shadows of history. But each spring, like the legendary city of Brigadoon, the town comes to life for the 24 hours of Le Mans. What makes this race so tough? This is the course. At 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon, 52 cars take off from the pits out onto one of the most noted tracks in the racing world. 8 miles of pure torture on cars and drivers. The treacherous Tertre Rouge, the famous Mulsanne Straight, the murderous S curves near Arnage, then past the stands, and around again and again for a full 24 hours. Here is the Tertre Rouge turn before the race, a public road with ordinary traffic. Blocked off for the race, it becomes La Ronde Infernale, the infernal turn. On the morning of the big event, the crowd begins to fill the stands and line the curves and straightaways of the 8-mile course. 250,000 people will watch the spectacle. Before the race, each car is honed to a peak of mechanical perfection. Tires get special attention. The demands put on them by both cars and course are staggering. Wheel balancing. Wheels are balanced, pressures checked. Safety, as well as performance, is a prime consideration. Nothing is left to chance. Some of these tires even have an inner safety spare. To qualify for Le Mans, these cars must meet certain body standards. Enclosed wheels, a passenger compartment with seats for 2 people, a separate spare tire compartment. The drivers of each car have had 2 days to practice on the course. But Bruce Muir, a last-minute replacement on the morning of the race, gets only 2 practice laps. Tension grows as the opening ceremonies begin. A salute to the flag of each country represented by entries in the race. Italy, France, Great Britain, Canada, Switzerland, the United States, Germany, Belgium. Preparations continue until the last minute. Spare wheels are painted with fluorescent paint for easier handling at night. Light rain showers cause a tire change before the race even begins. Wider tread for better traction. Now the cars are in their starting positions, engines stopped, doors closed. The track is cleared. Drivers are in place across the track from their cars. A distinguished American, Henry Ford II, has the honor of starting the race. There it is, the famous Le Mans start. Don't let the camera fool you. These cars are doing over 200 miles an hour. They pass in review at 145 miles an hour. And so it will go for 24 hours through periods of rain and sun, daylight and darkness. The first 24-hour race at Le Mans took place in 1923. In the years that followed, French automobiles and their drivers dueled with the English and Italians for victory. And during that time, many famous names had their years of dominance. Bentley, Alfa Romeo, Bugatti, Jaguar, Mercedes-Benz, Aston Martin. Then, Ferrari, all told a 9-time winner since 1949, and 6 consecutive wins during the past 6 years. Now, a new challenger to Ferrari dominance, an American, the Ford GT Mark II. Right from the start, American strategy is clear. Get out in front, stay there. Force Ferrari to press, then wait for the strongest to survive. The rules for this race fill a fair-sized book, but they're devised to meet every possible situation, block every loophole. Pit stops are carefully supervised by race officials. At every pit stop, engines must be turned off. A tire engineer checks tread depth each time these cars come in. But only 2 team mechanics at one time can make repairs to the car or change tires. When tires are changed, the spare must also be changed. Drivers can relieve each other at will, but the same man may not drive more than 60 consecutive laps of the course, or more than a total of 14 hours. The duel between Ford and Ferrari continues. Pit stops are made at regular intervals, gas tanks filled, and sealed by a race official. Oil and water changed every 25 laps. Brake pads and tires changed every 8 hours. At precisely 9:30 p.m., race officials signal all headlights on until 4:30 the following morning, and the long night watch begins. Most of the spectators will not leave the track area during the entire 24 hours. As the night wears on, it becomes more and more apparent that the Americans are wearing Ferrari down. Before dawn, Ford GTs have broken the lap record for the Le Mans course 9 times. And by daybreak, Ferrari has literally been run off the track. But the end is still 8 hours away. Only 16 contestants are now in the race, and the people watch and wait. Then at mid-morning on Sunday, on the 270th lap, the leading American car, driven by Dan Gurney, is forced out with an overheated engine. But 3 American cars still remain. Miles home, McLaren Amon, Buckton Hutcherson. All are well ahead of the second place German Porsches and third place French Alpines. Now it's only a matter of time and endurance. The Americans slow their pace to ensure the finish. But even with this so-called slowdown, the punishment on men, machines, and tires is unbelievable. In the last hour of the long ordeal, a downpour slows the pace even more. But this doesn't dampen the spirits of the crowd or the excitement of the finish. And a real close finish it is. The American cars come in 1, 2, 3, with cars number 1 and number 2 in a deliberate dead heat. Actually, the drivers of number 2 car, Bruce McLaren and Chris Amon, are judged the winners because of a technicality. Their car started 10 meters behind number 1, Ken Miles and Dennis Holm. It broke all Le Mans records by going over 3,000 miles, 350 laps around the 8-mile course, an average of 125 miles an hour. But the victory is truly an all-around American triumph for both cars and tires, Goodyear and Ford. For Bruce McLaren, anchorman of the winning team, it's been an unforgettable 24 hours. But a heartbreaker for Ken Miles on the left and Dennis Holm. An obscure rule gives Le Mans to McLaren and Amon. Actually, this is a team victory for all the winning drivers, mechanics, tire engineers, all the men behind the scenes. Ironically, Ken Miles had a fatal crash shortly after this race. So another 24 hours of Le Mans is over. The town settles back into its peaceful, drowsy existence. For the winners, it's been a stunning, unforgettable triumph. For the losers, well, as they say on the racetrack, wait until next year, when Le Mans once again comes to life for the world's toughest, most famous auto race.